This just feels really weird because usually I start my vlogs in the mornings, but now it's pretty late in the afternoon. Hello, hi, it's Michael. Today I am going to go to my local Barnes & Noble for their Cursed Child midnight release. I do have work in the morning, so I don't know how that's gonna happen, but then yes, I'm gonna vlog it while I'm there. I've never been to a Harry Potter book release party, even though they were released when they were released when I was growing up. I just never did the midnight thing just because nobody would take me, I guess you could say. Like, none of them would stay up until 12 to take me to it, but it's still fine, it's fine, I'm not bitter. So yeah, this is gonna be my first official midnight book release for a Harry Potter. It's gonna be, I'm hoping it's gonna be fun. So you're probably thinking, Michael, it's nowhere near midnight for sure. It's still bright outside. It really is, to be honest. But I'm gonna go Pokemon hunting before this midnight release. I'm out here at the lake. The sunset's not as pretty because it was cloudy, but yeah, playing Pokemon like usual. So I'm gonna walk around now because I don't even know if you can see, but I'm in the woods. Okay, so I just got here to Barnes & Noble and oh my gosh, there's so many people at the parking lot. I've never seen this Barnes & Noble parking lot this filled with... I should probably write something out. There's a lot going on. Oh, someone's Voldemort. Is he making potions? Just realized there's hanging... See, even wizards drink Starbucks. Okay, that's so cool. Come on. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on my Snapchat. So I got my face painted. Isn't it cool? It looks so good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go get some Starbucks now because I'm thirsty. Okay, so I'm like starving, but look at this. This is so cool. So I got me a white chocolate mocha with this cupcake and this pizza. But please don't judge me because I'm starving. Okay, I'm gonna eat now. Can they use Google to answer this?
Severus Snape, singing our song all day long at Hogwarts. Where's my run?
Okay, I don't even know if you can see me, but I got the book, so let me get my car so we can have a look at it right quick. Alright, woo! Yes! Here it is. For a book that's only a play, this is pretty thick. It's not long, it's deceivably long, because it's like roughly around 300 pages, but the spacing is a freaking, like the spacing is ridiculous. Alright you guys, I'm back home now. I'm gonna change and then start reading the book. Just forgot that I had my face paint here and I'm like, oh, is this how people feel when they have to take off their makeup? But yeah, let me show you. First off, let me show you something that's not Harry Potter related, but... So I bought this because I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? So it's just a pixel coloring book. I love pixel art. It's I love it. So I bought it. I think it looks really fun, so I just bought it. And then I got a whole bunch of stuff like this, which I'm gonna color. Oh, look at this bookmark. It's one of those hologram things. But yeah, I'm gonna use that as a bookmark. One of these buttons. Here it is, emitter lighting. Alright, surprisingly this was really easy to take off because it just was like with water. So yeah, I'm gonna start reading this. Now I have work tomorrow, unfortunately. I should have requested off. I'm gonna see how long, how much I get read, and then most likely tomorrow I'll film my final thoughts and reviews, and we'll see what happens. And I still have glitter everywhere. It's like, it won't go away. Alright, I'm gonna read. I'm so excited, like... This better be good. So it's like part 1, scene 3. It's setting it up, man. It's setting it up. I'm not gonna lie. This is like Hufflepuff colors. I kind of have a feeling where the story is going. If anything, I feel like she's pushing something, and I feel like I know where the story is going. But if I think what it is that's gonna happen. Okay, so short story. I wouldn't call myself like a play connoisseur, but I've seen a couple of plays, and I've only went to Broadway once, and that was like back in middle school, and we saw Phantom of the Opera, and the special effects were so cool. So I'm wondering here, like there are some moments in here like that's happening right now. I'm thinking, how would they do that? Like there'd be some, I'm sure if I saw this like the play, there's some incredible special effects going on, because if anything right now, as I'm imagining this, visualize it as in a play, I'm trying to think like how can they do that, but oh, I'm sure there's some amazing, incredible special effects going on in the play right now. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, you know what I'm noticing, which is really, I don't know if this is because it's a play or if like literally the 8th story in a long-ass series of books, is character development. Yeah, I'm noticing that the character development for the kids is not prevalent, and that's just because probably, I mean, Harry, Hermione, and Ron, we've already established them in 7 books, but the kids. So yeah, I'm feeling that now. I'm kind of scared what's happening. How Hermione, how Rowling. I'm really intrigued how this is gonna be executed, because you can't fuck this shit up. You can't. Well, I still see that Harry is still sassy. So I'm a little bit over part 2 now, so I reached part 2. It's not a spoiler. Guys, there's a quote on here that relates to Pokemon Go, and I want to show you so bad, but I won't, because it is a spoiler. Like, important stuff is happening. But I am also noticing, and I don't know if maybe it's because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. No, it's not. What time is it? Oh, it's not 3 o'clock. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. The dialogue here is really weird, and I don't know if that's because it's technically a play, but it seems very, it almost feels not like, something about it it doesn't feel natural. It feels as though it's almost like explanatory, as if the dialogue is what is being said, as if it was a novel, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of the character speaking naturally. Okay, so I'm about to reach Act 4. I don't even know what to say, what's going on right now. So I'm gonna keep reading. Yeah, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm gonna finish this tonight, so there's that. Okay. I finished. I'm going to sleep because I have to technically wake up in 2 hours, so good night. Oh, y'all. Whew. It's way later in the day now. I got home from work. I got caught in the rain. You can tell it's of course storming. So I'm here to do my final thoughts on this book. I'm just gonna hold this thing and let it roll. Now, let's talk about this cursed child. I think I have my true feelings when today my coworker was like, spoil it for me, go ahead. And I was like, oh, thank you, because I really wanted to talk about this book. And the more I talked to him about it, I was like, I sound like I didn't even like it. I sound as if it wasn't good. And now looking back, of course I'm hyped. Of course I was so excited. Because I mean, this is one of the series that got me into reading. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe it's really the book that did it for me. Like, no tea, no shade. For real though, like, Harry Potter's probably the second one. But yeah, Chronicles of Narnia it still holds a really special place in my reader heart. I just have to tell you how it is. If you are going to read this book, just go into it blind. Don't even watch videos about it, just go into it blind, because obviously I went into it blind. I wanted to avoid spoilers at all costs. This is technically the 8th story, not 8th book or anything, 8th story. If I were to rank all the 8 stories, like Prisoner of Azkaban, probably my favorite, Goblet of Fire, Sorcerer's Stone, my least favorite out of the original would probably have to be Order of the Phoenix, and that's just because Harry is a real teenager in that one. Wow, he is when I realized as an adult, I was like, wow, he's really annoying because he is a teenager, so obviously he's going to be really annoying, which he is in Order of the Phoenix. Trust me, he's a real teenager on that one. If I were to rank The Cursed Child within the 7 stories, it would be way at the bottom. It's under it's under Order of the Phoenix, like for me anyways, because there's a lot of problem, and I'm looking at it from, there are things, and yes, it is a play, but there are plays that have, I don't want to say it, but they have more depth than this, even though they're even, this has 4 acts. Think about that, you guys. This has 4 acts, and I've read plays with, oh, let's be for real, with 1 act, and it had more character development and greater plot and greater pacing than this. The main issue that I have with The Cursed Child is the structure. At the end, it was the story and character development. Oh my god, Paula, did you fart? This story is mainly about Albus, Harry, and, okay, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna spoil it because at this point you should have read 1 through 7. But it's Harry and Ginny's son, and Scorpius, which is Draco Malfoy's son. I don't know who these characters are. I just know them as their son. Like, that's all. A really good way to see if character development works really well in a novel is to describe a character not by how they look or who they are, but like describe their character, describe traits of who they are. And if I were to tell you, like, I would have to think, is Albus even brave? Like, is Scorpius even funny? Like, who? I don't know who these characters are. There's not enough development in the play. And now, granted, I saw this as a play, as I read this as a play. They have to have an incredible budget because this is Harry Potter. Their budget was, I'm assuming, really high. So obviously if anything, at least the acting was gonna be, you know, pretty good. I mean, you don't want to cast subpar actors, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look at this as like story-wise. The other characters, Harry, Hermione, all of them, I already know who these characters are, and I feel as though this story really sticks to who they are. Like their choices, they would say. Now I also have to talk about the dialogue because the dialogue didn't feel as if that's how people spoke, because there were some lines there that I was like, would someone in real life say that? It felt really it felt stilted. It didn't flow naturally. Like, I have to tell you guys about this LGBT thing. So we all know the story with Albus Dumbledore. Later, J.K. Rowling came out and said that, you know, he's gay. As a kid growing up, I never got that vibe. I mean, I don't know, like, I would have just never been like, oh, he's just a character, like, you know, I know who he is. And then when she said that he was gay, I was like, really? I felt as though this was a missed opportunity, that she could have remedied that. Like, I mean, that's one of the critiques, because there's a part, it's the Death Eaters, y'all. Yes, these characters are gay, and it is what it is. I kind of got this vibe from them, and I don't know if that's me, like, reading too much into it. There were parts where I was like, oh, she's gonna go with this. She's gonna make these characters gay. And I was like, oh, they're not. But then again, watch like a few years from now, she'd be like, oh, they were. But I'm like, why didn't you let them do it? Because if you're going to this blind, so obviously you're not gonna know anything, but I feel as if the story-wise, it's kind of convoluted. When I was telling my coworker about, like, because I was spoiling it for him, and he was like, we almost said it at the exact same time, because as soon as he said it, I said it. It was like that, like he stole the words out of my mouth. It felt as though this was fan fiction. I don't want to say it, but it felt as though, I mean, like, if someone wrote this next to Carry On, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's a Carry On fanfiction, but it's not. It's part of the canon. J.K. Rowling decides to make this canon, and within this story, it changes how... It really changes everything. The way you view certain events now, it's forever gonna change. And the more I talk to my coworker, at the time when I first, like, got off my high, it was like a 3.5. But now when I think about it, my feelings and how I'm talking about it, because this book is really hard to talk about without giving spoilers away, and because the reason how I feel are the spoilers. It's more like a 2.5, and that's me being a fan and me critiquing it with an open eye of how I would critique any other books, because certain ways of how I feel. I know how a 4-star book feels. I know how a 5-star book feels. Like when I was reading Native Son, I was like, oh my god, within the first 50 pages I was like, this is a 5-star book. And when I reached the end I was like, this could be a 6-star book, like out of 5. That's how amazing it was. And with this, I never got the 5-star feeling. If I were to give this a rating, it would be 2.5 out of 5. This isn't the best one out of the whole story. Like out of all the 7 stories, unfortunately this would have to be at the bottom. I rounded it up on Goodreads to a 3, but there's not enough character development within the 2 main protagonists, and some characters are not even like they get so little time. And so like, why aren't we getting character development for James? Why aren't we getting character development for Rose? Like, these are new important characters. Why aren't we getting why aren't they getting enough time? The story felt convoluted. There's just too much going on, and the way that, like, the things that she chose to do, it falls kind of flat. Dialogue didn't flow as well. I'm really interested to hear what people think about this, because it will definitely be such an interesting conversation to have. If you read The Cursed Child, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye! Yeah?
What are you doing?
I'm filming.